Camera is rolling. When you're ready.
It really came out of nowhere. One day, out of nowhere, we're hearing this large, I don't know whether to call it a pandemic, happening of HIV being spread throughout the world. How did that happen? Why?
HIV is a major global public health issue. Hitherto, it has claimed 40.4 million lives. Data from the World Health Organization and UNAIDS estimate that world over, by the end of 2022, over 39 million people were living with HIV. Of the same year, deaths caused by HIV-related illnesses were at 630,000. The African region is the most affected, with over 25.6 million people living with HIV. With this data, it is still not clear where this infection originated from.
The first case of HIV and AIDS was first discovered in 1959, but it was actually identified by an institute in America and one in France, in a Pasteur Institute in France, in the early 1980s.
Conspiracy theories regarding the origin of HIV suggest alternative narratives that have been proposed to explain its emergence.
I think I choose to believe one that I heard that there was a professor from Germany called Jacob Siegel, and he was suspected to have been working with the KGB, and he theorized that the US government military base created this disease and tested it on prisoners.
In 1987, during that time, similar to COVID-19, there was the smallpox pandemic. So there was a mass vaccination to try and eliminate the smallpox, whatever the disease. So it is suspected, or it is theorized, that some of those vaccines were infected with HIV, with a virus. But after extensive research, it was deducted that the HIV virus wasn't really in the vaccine, and instead the syringe used to vaccinate people wasn't properly sterilized, leading to infections. My second theory on what birthed HIV and AIDS is the hepatitis B vaccine theory. So this was theorized by a man called Alan Cantwell. He actually wrote two books. One book is called Queer Blood and the other one is called AIDS and the Doctors of Death. He theorized that the US government, US officials deliberately spiked hepatitis B vaccine with the HIV virus and experimented on gay men and bisexual men just to try and control like certain populations that they don't have control of.
Speculations have tried to point fingers at various groups of people and organizations involving them in these damning conspiracies.
Who do you think are these people?
I think some people are affiliated in the creation of HIV, including some of religious organizations wanting to promote monogamy and stop homosexuality.
You know, back in the day, we weren't as open-minded as we are now. So the US government, in order to control, this one was by a man called Milton William Cooper. He theorized that the US government enhances or started HIV in order to control the population, in order to control, because back then actually, a lot of the myth was HIV is spread faster by gay men. There was a myth, there was a whole attitude towards that. So in order to control people like the homosexuals and especially gay and bisexual men, and to control blacks, stuff with racism.
CIA also was part of it, of the conspiracy, and they, I guess, wanted to decrease population because it was going out of hand.
I think it's artificial. I feel like it was invented in a lab, mainly to control a group of people that couldn't be controlled at the time. And the reason why I think that is because it really came out of nowhere. One day out of nowhere, we're hearing this large, I don't know whether to call it a pandemic happening, of HIV being spread throughout the world.
I personally believe it was created, like it was natural causes from chimpanzees. I personally believe like truly it was an infection from animal to humans, and then it evolved inside the humans and became HIV from the severe immunodeficiency virus.
It's Mother Nature's way of saying F you.
The origin of HIV has been the subject of significant research and investigation for many years now. While the exact origin of the virus remains a topic of ongoing discourse, HIV and AIDS has profoundly impacted the world, causing immense human suffering, challenging a fragile healthcare system, and straining economies.